Hi, I'm Rita Peterson with Everything Homemade. Today I'm going to share you one of my passions, gardening. And it is February 2nd, 2016 right now. And normally I would do this in January. I'm a little bit behind, but never too late. You can still order seeds. So this is where you're going to start. I'm going to teach you how to pick seeds, what plants to grow in Northern Alberta, Canada. Now, I grew up in Manning, Alberta, and we're far north, and there is some things that you just plainly can't grow. To be realistic, not everything grows in zone 1 and 2. But even though we were zone 1 and 2, there's still lots you can grow. Right now, I live in Grand Prairie, Alberta, which is about 4 hours south of where I grew up. And we're about zone 3 if you have a microclimate, meaning a warm spot on the side of your house, near a shed, near a wall where the sun always hits. It's warmer. You might be able to get away with zone 4. If you do raised beds, you again might be able to get away with zone 4. Totally depending where the sun is hitting, how the wind is coming through your yard. But right today we're going to focus on how to pick your seeds for the growing season in May. So this is what you're going to do. First, I always have a piece of paper. I have a pen. I have a highlighter. I have my gardening books. And one of my gardening books is actually on the internet. So I have my laptop set up, which is one of my absolutely favorite sites. And I have my gardening journal. Now this is my special journal where I write down like fertilizers, the do's and don'ts, what I found out that growing season. I draw my garden plan in here. After I mess with it here, I put it down exactly what I grew in every bed. So I have this also. So these are the things. Now what I'm going to do is I like to start off with 2 of my favorite places. The first place is Heritage Harvest Seeds. They are absolutely wonderful, and I always order heirloom. The other place is on my computer here. It's called the Cottage Gardener. These 2 places are my favorite places to order seeds. The only thing that I can't get there is bulbs, and I will go through that later. So what I like to do is I like to start from the very beginning because most of these places are alphabetical order. So the very first thing is beans. Now let's go through the growing days that we have because this will help through it all and make your life so much simpler. You are looking at between less than 60 days or max up to 70. Sometimes you can get away with 80 days of growing season. So if you're going through your catalog and it says 100 days, forget it, unless you're in a greenhouse and you got controlled climate. But even then, unless we have full sun, everything's warm, you're not going to produce anything. So you are looking for between that 50 and as high as 70 to 80, you're teetering. You don't know exactly. If we have a poor season, it's not going to work. If for some reason it's really hot, lots of sun, then it may work. So you go through your catalog here. And Ocean, if you can just get a little closer to what I'm going to do here. So when you're starting out, what I like to do is I like to go through each one, and I actually don't even worry about reading the title. What I'm looking for is the very ending, 65 to 70 days. So we may be able to get that. I highlight it. 90 days, forget it. 85, 50 to 60 days, perfect. 50, again. So I'm going through and I'm just highlighting all the possibilities that we can do. And 100 days, so I don't worry about that. 85, 75, 100, 110, 55, 60, perfect. 55, 55, 90, 95. And so I keep going on. And I keep doing this through all the beans. And there's quite a few beans on here, pull and bush. So I continue through. Beets. Let's talk a little bit about beets. And I'm just going to go in alphabetical order here. Really, honestly, almost any beet can work. They're usually about 55s. My favorite red beet that I love, let's see if it's in here, is Cylindria. It is a elongated beet, but what you can do is you can plant them really close together. Because they're long instead of big and round, you can fit more in a small space. Love them. They're easy to peel too when it comes to canning. So I highlight that. Broccoli, again, 60 days, 48 to 60. Perfect. This one here, 75 to 90, forget it. So I just keep going through the catalog.
Mommy.
Yes, Annika. Carrots. Again, you want to look at the date, and most carrots are just fine to do. Now, your carrot choice, you're going to depend on what kind of dirt you're going to be having. If it's really tough clay, you might want a shorter and stubbier carrot. If you got loose dirt, you can get away with a longer carrot. So just read the description. I like to grow purple dragon for my kids just for the fun of having different colors. Celery. Again, this one can be a little bit tedious, but you can get away with growing celery if you start planting them now. So I will do another YouTube video, what plants you should start now. Corn, again, you are definitely looking at days, 90 days, no. Sometimes they have like a northern corn. That's what you kind of are looking for. 100 days, 105 days. And there's not as much selection. 60 days. Here we go. Tom Thumb popcorn is 60 days. So we can grow some popcorn here. And other seed catalogs have more variety. Cucumbers. Again, you're looking for that 65 days to maturity. 50 to 55. So look at all the ones that I'm just quickly noticing here. 55 days. 50 days. So keep going. And then you have ground cherries. Now ground cherries, I've grown them before. Unless we got a real hot summer, they make fruit, but you won't be impressed with the yield as much. It's really cool, but just not as realistic. Kale, all varieties grow good. Kohlrabi, love it. All varieties grow good. Leeks, you just got to start them early. Otherwise, go ahead. Lettuce, I mean, sky's the limits with lettuce. You could pick any one. They're all good. Okra, if you start, again, early, they say 55 days to 65, start early, though you could get away with it in a hotter spot. Onion, if you're starting from seed, you got to start now. It would be now that you want to start, now to middle of February, because they take a while to get that bulb if you're starting from seed. Basically, go ahead, any kind there would do. Parsnips, anyone. Peas, again, you're looking at days to maturity, but most peas are just fine to do, so go ahead and highlight those. The other thing is peppers. Peppers are a greenhouse favorite of mine. I always grow mine in the greenhouse, and again, this is where it's critical. I'm looking for peppers 65 to 70 days. 85, I don't worry about. 60 to 65. 90 to 95, no. 100, shh, Annika, quiet. And we keep going and going here. Okay, rhubarb, absolutely, no problem. Spinach, go right ahead. All kinds are awesome. I'm actually going to try the strawberry spinach this year, which I'm excited to do. It's self-seeds. It's native to Europe. They use it all the time. It has little fruits of strawberry-looking fruit on it, so I'm trying that. Squash, again, you are definitely looking for days. 90 days, 100, 85, 110, 105, 100, 95. So there's not too much in that variety. But you keep looking, and there are some. I try to go about 85 days at the very
very max because there's not as many selection. Spaghetti squash works great. Pumpkins. Zucchini works awesome. So here he goes. Summer crockneck, 55 days. This zucchini is 50 days. And so forth and so on. Sunflowers, absolutely. Swiss chard, love it. Grows wonderfully. Tomatoes. Now, tomatoes, I grow about over 100 plants, and I have my favorites. And I basically did the exact same process. And there are key words with tomatoes, okay? You're looking for Russian. You're looking for Northern. You're looking for hardy. You're looking for short varieties. And with tomatoes, I want to go through two things that you're going to look for. Annika, shh, mommy's talking. Is you're looking for indeterminate or determined. Indeterminate means that they keep growing forever. They will grow all season long. Determined means that they will stop at a specific height, and that's the one you want. So not only looking for days, you're looking for like 40 to 65 days, but you're looking for determined, and then your yield will be wonderful. We yield heavy here, and that is one key to start with. Low amount of days, determined, and not indeterminate. Because what happens is, when you have determined, they produce all the fruit, then they actually ripen on the vine. Indeterminate, they keep growing, so they keep producing fruit, but then they slowly ripen over here, but they don't put all the energy into ripening quickly. So that's what I do with here. And the key words, you know, like Anna, Russian, perfect, 65 days.
Stop.
And you keep going, okay? And there's plenty and plenty here. Early Annie, Mountain Princess, Early Wanderer, you know, 60 days. That's awesome. Okay, so you just keep going. These guys here have like the best tomato selection ever. The Heritage Harvest Seed, they have awesome selection. Okay, Hungarian Italian, that's 75 days. That's a little long. To be going here. Manitoba, perfect, 65 days. And so you can keep going. So you keep highlighting, and then you'll make your choice. Okay, so that's with tomatoes. We've got long list here. Watermelon, again. That one's a tricky one. Get the least amount of days as possible. Herbs. Okay, herbs. Basils work good as an annual here. Borage is an awesome perennial. Chamomile, chives are great. Go for it. Garlic chives. Cilantro, dill, fennel grows great. Hyssop, love it in the garden. Really good for bringing pollinators into your garden. Lemon balm, excellent. Oregano, parsley, sage, sorrel, summer savory, sweet marjoram. Oh, I love sweet marjoram. Absolutely love it. Perfect with eggs. Thyme, hollyhocks, and the list goes on. So all of these you can grow in this area. So that's a little idea how I go through my catalogs. And same with online. Like online here, I can go to their online catalog here, and Cottage Garden has it listed with heirloom vegetables A to M, and I can click here and I can go, let's just go with the very first one, beans, and I want bush beans. And I go through here, and here they're the same here. They have their name, and they have how many days. So you can easily go through here. 90 days, that's quite a bit. So 48 to 70 days, 60 days. Again, you just 47 to 50. So you just keep going. They're really awesome in that. And you do that with all catalogs. Some have for zones. So if you're looking through a catalog, like Lindenberg, they have zones also listed. You want to be in that zone 1, 2, 3. Will definitely grow. 4, you're gonna have a microclimate. It may or may not. like English lavender. If you can find a microclimate like I do, you can get away and it will come back every year. Rosemary, very touchy. If you're looking for a medicinal basil, it won't overwinter here. So anything zone 4 and up, you're taking a chance, okay? These guys, I love ordering their potatoes. Seeds are awesome. They never fail. These guys are awesome for that. For herbs, a lot of weird different herbs I order from Richter's. They are awesome with their seeds. This is where I order, and they also go heavy into the zoning. They go into days, but definitely look at their zones. These guys I always order like all my vegetable seeds from, plus Cottage Gardener here are my main two that I order. If one doesn't have it, the other one has it. So I go between the two. So when I'm finished highlighting, I go back again and I start making a list. So on my paper, if I want bush, I put bush beans. And I start now really reading the description and go, okay, I want these ones because they're purple. So I start making my list. Then I have tomatoes, and or I can put pole beans up here. And I start really categorizing of what I have. Sometimes I even will put the price beside it so I know how much money I'm spending. So I spend at least a couple hours doing this, and this is critical. So that's how you select seeds. And so you're not going through and reading everything. First thing you want to do, check the days. Highlight them. After that, check the zones. After that, you want to read the description and see if that's even something you want. Just because the days are short, maybe it's not something you want to grow. And then write your selection down, narrow it down, and that makes this task so much less daunting. And you're actually going to grow something realistic instead of trying to pick, oh, I want that. Ooh, this sounds good. But you know what? If it doesn't produce anything and it dies on you, then it wasn't much fun. But there's plenty to pick from that does grow in this area, and to have lots of fun with your squash and watermelons and a whole bunch of neat plants. But you got to put it in reality. We're Northern Alberta, short growing season. You can extend it by starting it early, but even then, you've got to be within that, 60 to 85 days at max. You're pushing it at 85 unless you got a greenhouse, and even then, that's not always a guarantee that it's going to work. So I really hope this helps you pick your seeds this year, and I will continue to make YouTube videos on when to grow, how to grow. You're gonna be growing this year right next to me, how to transplant, all these things I'm going to show you this year. Thank you for watching. Please comment, please ask me questions. I am here, I want to help, and let's grow together this year. Everything homemade. Homemade.